Hey everyone, and welcome back. I'm Nicole, and this is Letting It Be So. So there hasn't been a Friday sews video for a couple of weeks, which is basically because I haven't done any sewing. Just nothing dramatic. Just life busy, other activities taking me out of the flat and away from the sewing machine, in combo with the chaos that was created by having to move everything from my bedroom into my living room, which is where my sewing machines live. To facilitate a carpet being laid down, but just about getting back somewhat on track. So yeah, hopefully normal sewing activity will resume very shortly. But that has not stopped me picking up some new fabric. I have a separate video about my trip to the Knit and Stitch show a couple of weekends ago, in which I gave a pretty honest review of what I thought was available pretty much in terms of like selection of fabric for what I wanted. I did go with a list, and yeah, didn't really see very much of what was on it, or if I did, it wasn't quite right. So yeah, I was a little bit disappointed there. Did pick up a couple of fabrics. I've got a couple of them are still in the wash, but I do have one of them that I'll show you as well that I picked up at the show. But there's a separate video about it as well if you would like to hear that in its entirety. I'll pop a link in here. So yeah, I was on a mission then to do some online fabric shopping to support some other small businesses who weren't at the show, to pick up what I needed that was on my list and I couldn't see at the show. So the first place that I ordered from was Dalston Mill Fabrics, and they're not somewhere that I have ordered from before, but I've browsed on their website many a time. Particularly, I think they seem to be quite strong in terms of like plain color fabrics, and covering all of the different bases. And as you can see by what I'm wearing, I'm wearing a Jarrah sweater in this fun French terry fabric. It's got flowers and little like marmosets and things on it as well. Yeah, I'm not so good at the plains. Like, I clearly need them in my wardrobe because the thought of like clashing prints also like filled me with fear and makes me think I will look like I just went through my wardrobe like a tornado and like this was just what fell onto my body and then left the house. But yeah, I feel like when I'm shopping for fabric, I'm always drawn to the prints and I forget about the plains. And I really needed some cuffing because I've got a bunch of sweatshirt fabric, so like proper sweatshirting and some French terries, and the little bit of ribbing that I had left is basically down to almost nothing, so I needed to pick up some ribbing in a few different colours to mean that I have ribs, to mean that I have cuffs and neckbands and stuff for some sweatshirts that I'm hoping to get sewn up pretty soon. So I picked up 3. So I've got this 100% looks black on the camera. It is a really dark navy, and that is what I wanted because I picked up from the fabric session some of the I think they called it like Pink Pony Club French terry in the navy with the pink horses on it, and that is a very dark navy, so I specifically really wanted a dark navy. So this will be good. So yeah, I've got 1 meter of each of these, so they're like the tubes. Now I'm like wondering, like just for like laughs, if I can like get into one of these. I think probably I can get into the top half. I don't know if the stretch can accommodate my butt, but maybe that's a personal challenge for me to see, and maybe or maybe not share with you. But yeah, so that's the navy one, and then I've got this one, which I think was called Petrol. It's basically the same colour as my sofa, but you guys know how I love this colour. And yeah, I've got some sparkle sweatshirting in this colour. There's something else I've got that's needing this. I can't remember, but yeah, definitely at least one sweatshirting that needs this tealy colour. And then I have got this, which was called, I think it was called Indigo on the website. Yeah, it's like I call it like it's like a denim, light wash denim blue that I've got in mind for something that I'll show you in a second. So yeah, those are the ones I picked up. I feel like I should have also picked up like plain black as well, because I know I have some left from another piece that I bought a while ago, but now I'm thinking about it, how much of that is actually left, but never mind. I can always order again at some point in the not too distant future if I require it, because yep, happy with those, good quality. It's that really like dense cuffing, so yep, good with those. And then the other thing that was on my list to pick up was some corduroy, specifically some needle cord. I really wanted like a burgundy, so I recently made the Hippie Pinafore again by Jennifer Lauren Handmade in a denim, and yeah, I love that pattern, and yeah, definitely need another cord version. I've got a cord version which is plain black, so I wanted something in a colour, and I wanted burgundy, but there was needle cord at the show, but I don't think I saw any burgundy. I did go on the Sunday, so I suspect that maybe there was, and because that colour seems to be in all the shops at the moment in general, like I mean, it seems to be a big thing, that yeah, maybe it had sold out by the time I got to the show on the Sunday, the last day. So this needle cord, which is it's a really fine needle cord, feels nice and soft, and yeah, it's in this just lovely burgundy, I think they call it Bordeaux on the website, colour. I've got 2 meters of each of these to use, so yeah, it's quite thin, but you know, that's what I want. I don't want a bulky needle cord. Yeah, definitely happy with that one. The other one I picked up was called Petrol. I'd say this is a bit more green than teal, like it still is in the teal spectrum, but it's like it feels a bit darker, which again I'm not mad at. And yeah, this could also be another Pippi. I couldn't decide between the 2 colours, so they were pretty affordably priced. Dalston Mills do seem to be, you know, on the more affordable pricing spectrum. So yeah, I picked up 2 meters of that one as well in the needle cord. And then as well as needle cord, I really wanted some thicker, well not thicker, like bigger wale cord, because I want to try making a pair of wide leg trousers from it. Haven't 100% decided on the fabric, not the fabric, the pattern that I'm going to use. So I have the Peppermint Magazine wide leg trousers pattern, and I do also have the Emporio Patterns Rowan trousers. I think I want to try the Peppermint one first, just because I'm not 100% sold on this whole barrel leg thing. Like, yeah, I feel like in general I'm someone who resists trends when they know they just don't like them. But you know, I feel like with like trousers, I feel like it's good to try. Like I've got some ready to wear jeans on at the moment, and they're like what would be described as like a mum jean. And when I first tried on a pair of that fit, like I didn't think I would like them at all, because I was used to wearing like fitted, like high-rise skinny jeans all the time. And I did. Obviously barrel leg jeans are kind of a bit more exaggerated than that. But I think the Rowans, like, they're not as like, you know, there are some pretty exaggerated barrel leg jeans where I'm just like, I don't get it. Yeah, but obviously that's just my personal opinion and personal taste. If you love them, that's great. If you feel good in them, that's great. Like, this is just as my opinion, but personally I don't get it. And I don't think that I would feel good with that kind of exaggerated shape on my body. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe the Peppermint wide leg trousers is the one to try. But I have like quite a big difference between my waist and my hips, which is the widest part of me. So depending on, you know, fluctuations, I've got sort of anything between like 10 to 12 inches of difference between my like waist measurement and my hip measurement. So trousers always just feel like super scary, especially when they're kind of not like elasticated. So I wanted some fabric to try them out with that was affordable, like still wearable, if I make them and like them, but that, you know, I would be okay with them not being great. I'm not good at making muslins. I know I probably should do that, but I probably won't, because that's just how I roll. So yeah, I picked up another corduroy, which is again inside out. This one, I like the quality of the needle cords. I'm not so sure about this one. It kind of looks, it's not showing up on the camera, but it looks a bit squished. So, you know, I'm gonna pre-wash it and see what it does. But at the end of the day, like I said, this is kind of meant to be wearable toile fodder. Like I've seen a lot of other much, you know, I've got some other corduroy back here that I don't think is enough even to make a pair of trousers from, but like it feels like a bit more plush than this. But yeah, I'm just touching it. Maybe it has just been like squashed flat on a bolt, and maybe once it's had a trip through the washing machine, had some time to fluff up, maybe it'll be doing better. But yeah, I've got 2 meters of that as well to, yeah, do a wearable toile, hopefully, of some white leg trousers. I'm making an awful mess behind the camera here. All right, and yeah, so the other pile that I'm just looking down at is a pile of fabrics from Namazi. I feel like there's always this kind of conundrum of being like, what I would like to sew versus what I actually end up wearing day to day. Because, you know, I like a challenge, I like interesting projects. But sometimes those like intricate garments, they tend to be like all woven fabrics. And then I just don't reach for them. Like I work mostly from home. I typically am only in the office 1, maybe 2 days a week at most, the majority of the time. And it's not like a corporate office or anything like that. So I don't have to be crazy smart. So yeah, and oftentimes a lot of my weekend activities involves going to the football, which again, I don't require smart dress, and I've obviously got my football shirt on, my top half, and then, you know, obviously the weather is gradually getting colder and stuff, so you won't even see that. I'll just have my big giant silly football coat on to keep me warm. So yeah, it's yeah, I'm trying to fill that balance of, you know, having those projects that are nicer things and like making myself not save stuff for best, but also then not ending up not making the stuff that I will actually wear. So yeah, I was looking for some jerseys, and yeah, I really don't think there was a lot of selection of jersey fabric. I know obviously there was Bornella, who had like her sweatshirtings. You know, I feel like what there was often like plain colours. I think Higgs and Higgs had like plain like sweatshirting. I think they had like a handful of printed jerseys, but they were kind of colours and prints that felt a bit more like directed at children. At least that was how it felt to me. Like they didn't feel like the sort of jerseys that I would want. Personally, she says, looking at her pile, and they're not exactly like serious jerseys, but yeah, just kind of, I think there's more the color panel. There was a lot of like coral pink in them prints, and I'm not, again, there is pink in here that they just weren't what I was looking for. And I think, yeah, the other places that had, you know, the big rolls of fabric, like they didn't really have a good enough selection of fun sweatshirting or jersey. So yeah, right, gonna bring this big pile. I'm just gonna start from the top of the pile and work my way down. So obviously I just showed you a bunch of cuffing that I bought. They were also doing a discount on remnant pieces. I think it's 15% off. And so I picked up, this is a See You at 6 ribbing. So it's a little bit less dense than those other two. It's like that one where you can kind of more clearly see the ridges. if I hold it up, I don't think it's focusing very well. There we go. Yeah, so this is a CU6 one, so it's in like a beigey colour. And the reason I picked this up is because of the fabric that I got from Boinella Learning Stitching Show, which, if you haven't watched that video, is this one, which is on like a creamy base with all these fun paint splatters. So I figured that this would go with this. So, and I'm desperate to have this fabric in my life in wearable form. So yeah, it's probably going to be this sweatshirt, which is the Jara. Yeah, standard drop sleeve shoulder sweatshirt, but it's something that I wear all the time. Like in the autumn, winter, I'm always reaching for these, so I know this will get a lot of wear. So yeah, that is to go with that. If I have any left, I do have another sort of cream based sweatshirting that it might work for. Haven't held it up to it yet to check, but yeah, there was, I think, a bit more than half a meter. This isn't tubular, this is just on a straight thing. So yeah. Then I picked up, I had seen this fabric on Beyond the Pink Door, yeah, it had sold out pretty quickly, and so then when it popped up, I was watching Liana now does like a Friday live for Lamazi, which is very dangerous. Several of these purchases are literally because I saw the fabric on that. So yeah, public service warning, you know, if you watch those videos, they expect to be influenced by stuff. But yeah, so this is a ribbing, but obviously it's meant to be like a solid ribbing as opposed to like a cuffing or something. And it is this bright blue leopard print with pink in the middle of the leopard spots. And yeah, just super cool. Love it. And this is just going to be, I don't think, could I get a gable top out of this? I don't know. I've only got a meter. But if not, it will just be a standard t-shirt because I can wear this under shirts with cardigans, etc. But yeah, I just love the vibrancy and the fun of the little pink spots. So yeah, that's some ribbing. The other thing that I also wanted to address the gap in my wardrobe is like loungewear sets. Like I now have only like one nice pair of like joggers. I have a couple of others, but they've been well worn and they're looking a little bit sorry for themselves. And one of them like was in like a ponte that's clearly like heavy on the like polyester content, and it's bubbled like really quite badly. So yeah, I really wanted to get some fabrics to make loungewear sets that could easily like be worn as pajamas. Like I'm the eternal cold person in the winter, so having some thicker pajamas that are more like jogging bottoms and a sweatshirt can only be a good thing in my book, because yeah, I get cold easily. So I picked up this is another one that Liana showed on the live video, and I couldn't resist, even though I think technically it's in their like Lamazi kids section, and I'm like, there are no rules here, I'm gonna just wear what I like. So it's this one, so it's on this like cream grey like melange like background, and it's got these super cute cherries that some of them are like hearts, and these ones are like glittery, and then it's got a nice lovely soft fleecy back. So yeah, couldn't resist this. And it's actually like, it's quite drapey. Like I think you might think you're looking at something like this that's quite thick, but it's actually not. So I think, yeah. And again, it's probably going to be either a Jara or a Linden. Maybe if I wanted to maybe double up as PJs, it will be a Jara, just because you've got like a little bit more like room in the arm because it being drop shoulder rather than raglan. But yeah, just thought that was so cute. And then I also picked up, this is a remnant piece. It's just some like brushed French cherry. So very similar weight, maybe a little bit more structure to this one, but in this like navy. And I feel like this is like a set, like with this as the top and these as the bottoms. I think that goes quite nicely. So yeah, these are hopefully going to be like a loungewear / PJ set. We're getting there. So the next fabric was another remnant piece. This is, I said I didn't want pink from like the stuff that was available in Knit & Stitch, but then I picked up this. But you know, I said this is blue with pink as opposed to just being mostly pink. But yeah, it's this navy blue background jersey, cotton jersey with these like, yeah, sort of quite abstracty, painterly flowers in various shades of pink. There's a little bit of orangey and purpley as well, but just, yeah, quite a cool effect. There was about, I think there was just under 1.5 meters of this as a remnant piece. So I definitely think this is probably going to be a gable top. So I have like a long sleeve. Like, how nice would this look under my pippy I just made? Or even, like, because of the pinkiness, if I make a pippy out of that burgundy needle cord, like, that would be quite a nice outfit as well, wouldn't it? So yeah, that's going to be a definite long sleeve top. There's 2 more. There's only 2 more. This is another fabric that I saw on another fabric shop and that sold out really quickly. So I was also really excited when I saw that Mazzy had got it in. And it's this on a black background, which I feel like I don't suit black background stuff typically. Because you can see I'm quite pale, and obviously that's not going to get any better now that we're into the autumn and winter season. So I feel like, you know, I've never done that color analysis thing. I don't think I ever will, because I don't know, I just don't think I'm willing to spend money on doing that. This is personal opinion. I'm sure it has helped a lot of people focus their eye, but I don't see myself doing it. But I do think just from visual looking at myself in certain things, I think that black, yeah, is not the best for me. But this is a black background, but most of the print is brighter colours, so I think it's going to be okay. And this just called to me because it's like, just feels very like Art Nouveau, like William Morris. Like, look at the pattern with all of these blues and pinks and a little bit of tealiness. Like, that's so pretty. And again, I only have 1 meter, so I've got to think about what I want to make. I can maybe squeeze a plantain t-shirt, which is a free pattern by Deer and Doe. God, I'm getting all washed out. The weather, it is raining, but now it's also trying to be sunny at the same time, so I'm suddenly getting like light on me. So I'm not a ghost, I promised. I'm just that pale. The sun is just reflecting off me like something out of a Twilight movie. But yeah, so I've got 1 meter of this, and yeah, so yeah, I could, I think, squeeze a plantain out of it. What else? It is sort of calling at me to be an iris, which is Forget Me Not Patterns pattern. But yeah, I think it is. Is it directional? I feel like it is and it isn't. So that might limit me a little bit. But yeah, definitely really happy to have that one. And the last one was another remnant piece. I was very tempted by one of the new See You at 6 fabrics, because it's got like foxes on, and foxes are my, like, I don't know, but that kind of like, yeah, the animal that I am drawn to. I read a lot of books as a child that were about animals, so I was very much into like The Animals of Farthing Wood, if anyone remembers that, from that era of the BBC. But there was a whole bunch of books that it's based on that I read as a child. There was also another series which was like Irish. There was also about foxes, which was which is how I went for a long time, having never heard the name Sinead said out loud, but only seen it written in this book, because that was what one of the foxes was called. And I just, in my head, reading the book, called this fox Sinead. And yeah, I don't know at what point I suddenly heard that name like said out loud and realised, oh, that's what that was. So So yeah, I was very tempted by the Foxes one, but obviously the See You at 6 fabrics, they are, you know, they're good quality, definitely. I've got some Prince ones that are in my collection that have, yeah, you know, they definitely wear well and they're good quality. But then I saw this remnant piece, and you know, similar vibes, woodland creatures, but a different kind of woodland creature. I think this might amuse my parents because they have a resident hedgehog on there that lives on the patio. So I think they might find it funny that I've got this fabric, which I've given the game away now when by saying the word hedgehog. But it is this one. It says on like a olivey khaki background, which isn't typically me, but this is going to be loungewear. And yes, it's got these super cute hedgehogs on. Look how cute they are. And again, it's like a French terry. So it's like a loop back French terry on this one. And there was like just under 2 meters. So I feel like I'm going to have to do some like playing around. I would ideally like to get like a set out of this. Whether I can is another matter. It might be the case that I pick up some plain fabric to go with this that I can mix and match to like color block a sweatshirt out of. So I think the priority is to make some jogging bottoms out of this, because who doesn't need hedgehog jogging bottoms in their life? I know I do. And then yeah, with whatever is left over, see what I can get out of it in terms of a top. But yeah, it would be pretty easy to pick up, you know, could pick up black or brown or try and match this khaki to color block. Okay, that was everything. This has been a longer video than I thought it might be. I thought I was going to be able to go through it quite quickly, especially some of the fabrics are plain, but here we are. So yeah, that's what I picked up to, fill the, well, to pick up what I had on my list. I was really after that. I unfortunately didn't find it in the instant show, but you know, I'm pleased I've supported 2 small businesses, so you know, I don't feel bad about that. It's just one of those things. And yeah, now that I have access to my sewing machine again, I'm hoping to get cracking on these. Obviously everything here's got to go into the wash, so that's probably probably not going to put everything in the same wash because there's a few lighter fabrics in here, but so it's all got to go in the wash. And then I'm excited to start cutting some of this out. And also you can see behind me on the ironing board, just the side of it, there's my current project that I'm working on, which is a shirt. It's the Leo shirt by Bella Loves Patterns. So I want to get that down first, because I didn't get very far on it before I had to down tools and make way in here for all of the bedroom stuff. So yeah, I hope that was interesting. I would love to know what you thought of my fabric choices. Is there anything that you would make with these? Which one was your favorite? I don't think which one of my favorite is. I think it might be the second to last one I showed you, black with the pink and blue and green sort of William Morris print. I think that might be my favorite, but I would love to know what yours is. Okay, I'm gonna stop waffling and actually go and get on with some sewing now that I can. So thank you so much for watching. As always, if you've enjoyed the video, please do consider giving it a like to help boost it for YouTube, and also subscribing just to help share these videos with the rest of the sewing community. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be back soon with another video. Bye bye.